Good morning, afternoon or evening, and welcome to the first video in a new series that looks at lists of the best, worst, or in this case weirdest things in 0 AD. Now this one takes in some of the more unorthodox and unique units available in the game and rounds out the 5 most unusual and, with them being so unusual, generally underused units in the game. So, in no particular order, let's take a look. The first of our weird units is fire ships. These belong to the Iberians, and they're a ship that's effectively a floating ball of flame. Now, once it's launched, it has a limited time to touch, set fire to, and sink or kill as much as possible before it collapses in on itself and makes its way to the water's floor. Its main use is against fishing ships, as these tend to be stationary for long enough for a fire ship to take out more than one. They can also be used pretty effectively against docks that are close enough to your own dock to reach before they burn out. However, when it comes to using them against other ships, they're not really fast enough to catch them in a race, so unless you can corner a ship so that it can't escape, your most effective use of them is actually probably more in just disrupting an opponent's naval supremacy by throwing them off guard and making them avoid this. So, they're a real mixed bag, but I did say these units are unusual and underused, and I promise no more than that. Sticking with the Iberians, we have their champion skirmisher cavalry. Now these guys are rarely seen on the battlefield, but they're worth taking a look at when you play as the Iberians. However, if you compare their stats to other faction skirmisher cavalry champs, you're going to be disappointed and they'll look pretty poor. However, that's because their specialism is destroying buildings, with their decent speed and 15 crush damage. So because of their mobility, they can actually catch many players by surprise. This is because the Iberians' only siege weapon is a ram, so a concerted attack on their structures by another type of unit can be a very unexpected variation. So if you fancy sending a small group to your opponent's base, you can watch in horror when they realise that their houses have all been destroyed and that they're now unable to replenish their army due to being housed. Our third offering is Clubman / Macemen. Now these are available for the Kushites as mercenary citizen soldiers and the Morians as champions. The citizen soldier has a 2.5 crush attack, meaning they can be used to damage buildings in order to make them easier to capture, but the champion has 10.5, meaning they can actually potentially take out buildings completely. Both are interesting units, especially as the Kush ones can be delivered by siege tower to their location, making them an alternative to elephants that are far less susceptible to pierce attacks. Behind window number 4 we have not a human or a structure, we have a war dog, and these are the Britain's not so secret weapon. Now they don't count towards your population, although each kennel can only host 10 dogs and you can have no more than 5 kennels. This gives you potentially 50 dogs to play with, and they have a number of really great uses. One is to use them to attack down a flank and use this as a distraction to give you time to set up a new civic centre or fortress, or even throw a more conventional attack on your other flank. Another idea is that you can send them round the back to attack your opponent's CC and kill all of his women, causing them either a food shortage or a wood shortage. If this is done during a battle, then there's a good chance of this succeeding. And finally, they are, as in real life, an excellent hunting companion. They can be used to send deer, walrus, elephants, etc. towards your base to reduce food transit times. In all, it's a quirky unit that's underused in my opinion, but has plenty of possibilities. And our final unit at number 5 is the craziest of the lot. Well, what is there to say about these guys, the naked fanatics? Well, firstly, they're a spearmen with almost no armour. They are, after all, naked, but their pierce and hack attack is double that of a regular spearman, and they also retain the +3 bonus versus cavalry, which when you couple with their lack of armour restricting them, makes them almost twice as fast as a spearman and nearly as fast as the cavalry they'll be attacking. They're also one of only 2 Phase 2 champion units available. This means they can cause havoc to your enemy's economic development and have been the driver behind many a Phase 2 victory. They're fun to use if you're good at micro, but they're less useful if you don't excel in this, as it's very easy to see them smashed by massed skirmishers or archers. And that's all 5 down, although one group did contain 2 soldiers types, so perhaps it's more of a top 6. Anyway, I'm not going to get bogged down in the details. Suffice to say, subscribe, click the bell and click like, and if you do those things you'll inspire me to make more videos more quickly. Muito obrigado and adeus.